The diplomatic hall of the Varkuun Pride was a place where silence pressed heavier than gravity. Columns, carved with ancient victories, stood like stone warriors. Every scent, every sound, every breath mattered. And at the center of the room stood a human. Marcus Hale, a civilian xenologist, with a backpack slung over one shoulder, a thermos in his hand, and an unforgivably informal bright blue hoodie. He looked wildly out of place, but the dozen Varkuun cubs, peeking from behind the thrones, looked at him like he was the most interesting creature in the universe, because yesterday he had saved them, and today he had brought something even more dangerous than heroism. Hot chocolate with marshmallows to the Varkuun, a species of apex felinoid warriors. Gifting food was a sacred acton, offering of peace, trust, and shared survival. It was ceremonial, intimidating, and took entire councils to plan. Humans, meanwhile, just did things. Marcus unscrewed the thermos cap, and a sweet, warm aroma drifted through the hall. The cubs' ears perked up. Their tails flicked. One even started drooling. The High Matriarch, Reshkara, narrowed her golden eyes. Her voice was deep, reverberating like distant thunder. You bring a scent of molten sweetness to a diplomatic convocation. Marcus cleared his throat. Yes. Murmurs rippled through the gathered warriors. The matriarch rose from her throne, towering over him. Explain. So Marcus did, raising the thermos like it was some legendary artifact. Well, on my world, after you rescue scared kids from a collapsed building full of parasites, you make them hot chocolate with marshmallows. Helps them feel safe. Shrug it. And since they kinda clung to me like little fuzzy backpacks yesterday, I thought I'd bring more. The matriarch blinked slowly. You soothe trauma with sugar. Pretty much. Yeah. A warrior beside her whispered. This is a ritual comfort drink. A human healing potion. Marcus inhaled sharply. No, well, not exactly. Another warrior, trying to be subtle, sniffed the air and nearly moaned. The matriarch raised a hand, and silence fell. You offered this drink to our young? She asked. Yep. And they accepted, very enthusiastically. The cubs nodded with absolute seriousness, puffing their chests, as though this was the proudest moment of their lives. A second, silence fell deeper, sharper, and filled with political consequence. Reshkara descended the throne steps and approached Marcus. Every clawed footstep was a warning. Human Marcus Hale. You understand what such an offering means among the Pride. He absolutely did not. ... Yes, she leaned close, the tips of her whiskers brushing the thermos. This? She inhaled again, her eyes dilating. This is an invitation to peace. Oh. Marcus paused. Cool. IT is not cool, roared the Warrior Council in unison. Marcus flinched. Okay. Not cool. My bad. But the matriarch raised one claw, silencing the chamber. Human. You gifted warmth and nourishment to our young. You placed their comfort over your pride. You performed a rite of kinship perhaps unknowingly, but you cannot withdraw it now. Marcus blinked. Wait. Withdraw what? The matriarch turned to her council. Humanity has extended the offer of peace. The room exploded. Growls, exclamations, frantic political calculations. Marcus paled. I did what? A yawn cub boldly stepped forward, tugging his pant leg. Can we have more of the squishy white sky eggs? Marshmallows. Marcus squeaked. Yeah. I've got a whole bag. The Warrior Council gasped as though he had said he brought a second son. Reshkara steadied herself. The humans come bearing abundance. Marcus covered his face. No, that's not. But it was too late. The matriarch lifted her voice, echoing through the ancient hall. Record this moment. Henceforth, the hot chocolate ritual shall be considered an official diplomatic process between our species and the human Marcus Hale. shall be recognized as the Sweet-Brew Envoy. Marcus Hale dropped the thermos. Sweet what? No. I'm just a xenologist. I don't have clearance for diplomacy. I don't even have clearance to microwave fish in the embassy break. But the cubs had already surrounded him, wide-eyed and hopeful. One offered him a wooden cup. Marcus sighed. Fine. Everybody gets one mug, but no claws, and absolutely no fighting over marshmallows. The matriarch watched like a general overseeing the forging of a treaty. The first cub dipped a claw into the drink, tasted it, and let out a high-pitched chirp of bliss. Another stuffed some marshmallows into its mouth at once, and nearly transcended existence. Warriors stared, horrified. What power is this? One whispered. Marcus stopped mid-pour. Sugar! No warrior should wield such softness, another muttered. Ugh, you have no idea, Marcus said, shaking the marshmallow bag. Warriors flinched from the sound as though it were sacred. Then, unexpectedly, the matriarch kneeled. Everyone froze. She lowered her head, a gesture of immense respect. You and Marcus Hale, you have brought to our cubs what even victory could not give them. Laughter. This offering simple to you is priceless to us. Then she extended her empty ceremonial cup. The hall trembled. You honor us, she said softly. Share your warmth. Every warrior held their breath. Marcus filled the matriarch's cup, hands trembling. He added 3 marshmallows because... Honestly, she looked like she deserved extra. The matriarch took a slow sip. Her eyes widened, her tail fluffed. Her ears flattened in sheer shock. The council braced to see if she would rage. Purr, she purred. Deeply, rumbling like a landslide. The room erupted. This drink must be protected. We must establish a marshmallow treaty. Send word to the fleets prepare for diplomatic consumption. Marcus raised both hands. Guys, please, it's just hot chocolate. The matriarch spoke again, and the chamber stilled. Marcus Hale. By your offering, you have bound your people 2 hours in goodwill. From this day forth, no Varkuun shall raise tooth or claw against a human. The council murmured reverently. It is sealed, she finished. Marcus exhaled. So, we're friends now. The matriarch nodded slowly, ceremonially. We are... A cub climbed him like a tree and proudly announced, the human belongs to the Pride now. Marcus groaned. Can I at least go home for laundry day? The matriarch purred again. Only if you return with more of the sweet sky eggs. And somehow, Marcus knew this was only the beginning. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. The Varkuun Pride flagship, honor-bound Fang, rumbled like a living beast as it drifted into high orbit over the galactic assembly. Its hull plating etched with scars, clan emblems, and trophies glowed in the light of 3 suns. Inside, however, the chaos was not about battle. It was about snacks. Marcus Hale, newly and reluctantly appointed Sweet-Brew Envoy, was being dragged really through the ship's grand corridor by 4 warrior guards. Guys, I said I'd walk. You walk too slowly, rumbled the lead warrior. Captain Tarvos, the assembly awaits your ritual. It's not a ritual, Marcus groaned. It's hot chocolate. And marshmallows, whispered another Varkuun in awe, like he was speaking of a forbidden relic. Behind them, a swarm of cubs trailed Marcus, as if he were a walking desert cart. Every one of them was wearing some form of improvised human clothing, hoodies, t-shirts, even a bathrobe someone found in the laundry. The humans back home were going to have so many questions. Marcus didn't want answers to any of them. They reached the main hangar, where an enormous platform had been constructed overnight. It looked ceremonial. It looked intimidating. It also had a giant banner stretched across the back that read, Galactic Peace Summit. Hutchiclat demonstration. Marcus slapped a hand over his face. You've got to be kidding me. Rishkara, the High Matriarch herself, stepped forward in full ceremonial armor. Her mane was braided with honor beads. Her claws were polished. Her gaze burned like a star. "Human Marcus," she intoned. "The summit has convened. Representatives from 37 species await your offering." Marcus nearly choked. 37. "You have ignited an interstellar movement," she said, voice a mix of pride and catastrophe. Captain Tarvos added, "The Gorthan clans declared your marshmallows a weapon of mass pacification." "And that's a good thing?" Marcus asked. "For the first time in history, the Gorthan appear calm," Tarvos said. One of them even smiled. It was deeply unsettling. Marcus whispered, "Oh, God." But there was no time. The doors slid open, and the galactic summit chamber unfolded before him, massive seats arranged in a circular arena, each occupied by representatives from wildly different species. The avian cirrus fluttered nervously. The crystalline Quora refracted the lights into rainbow shards. The eight-limbed Makru coiled around their seat like a patient predator. All eyes compound, glowing, or otherwise turned to Marcus. Reshkara stepped forward. "Esteemed delegates, I present the human responsible for the Marshmallow Peace Accords." Marcus raised a finger. "There are no accords. They are being drafted," she corrected. "Oh God." The Quora delegate chimed in, voice like chiming glass. "We wish to observe the ritual of Sweet-Brew." "It's not a ritual," Marcus insisted. "It is. Just a warm comfort drink my species makes for kids." "The cubs have spoken," Reshkara interrupted. "They call it the warm happy cup." A Makru uncurled one limb. "The warm happy cup pleases us. Human, begin." Marcus pulled out his battered thermos, but the matriarch shook her head. "No," she said. "This will not suffice." The platform rumbled. A massive machine rose from the floor, gleaming chrome. Pressure tanks, automated whisks, multi-spouted dispensers. Marcus stared, horrified. "What is that?" "A military-grade hot chocolate generator," Reshkara said proudly. "You built a what?" "Your design was reverse-engineered from the thermos you left in the medical bay," she said. "You should not have abandoned such a powerful artifact." "I was sleeping." The machine whirred to life. A dozen alien delegates leaned forward. One Gorthan sniffed the air so aggressively his nostrils vibrated like a hover engine. Marcus said, "Fine. Let's get this over with." He approached the controls. The machine boomed instructions in Varkuun. "A dead cocoa. A dead milk. A dead milk. A dead marshmallow loadout." Marcus groaned as a compartment opened, revealing bags of marshmallows as if they were ammunition. He began the process, the machine turning each step into a ceremonial thunder. Add coke, add milk, stir, heat, stir again, dispense. The chocolate flowed like molten velvet into a ceremonial cauldron. The smell drifted across the chamber. Delegates stiffened, tails fluffed, tentacles curled, spikes flattened, and then silence, a unity of awe. Reshkara addressed the crowd. "As is tradition initiated by the Sweet-Brew Envoy, the first serving shall be given to the cubs." The cubs squealed and rushed forward, lining up with cups, bowls, ladles, and one bucket Marcus absolutely did not approve of. One by one, he served them. They chirped, purred, growled happily, or flopped like fuzzy rugs of bliss. Then the adults approached. The Makru representative took a sip and froze. Ripples shimmered across their gelatinous body. "It tastes of small fires and kindness." The cirrus fluttered wildly. "It warms my feathers." The Gorthan clan leader, a massive rock-skinned brute, wept silently. "It reminds me of the lava pools of home, if they were gentle." The Quora delegates lit up in a kaleidoscope of color. Marcus blinked. "Are you glowing?" "It is an involuntary joy response," they replied. We have not glowed like this in centuries. Within minutes, the delegates approached one another tentatively at first, then openly sharing cups, trading marshmallows, discussing culture, exchanging trinkets. The summit chamber warmed, not from the temperature, from possibility. Reshkara moved beside Marcus, her voice quiet, reverent. This is the first time many of these species have spoken without threat of war. Marcus watched the Quora and Gorthon representatives toast marshmallows together, all because of a drink humans give to kids after a bad day. Yes, the matriarch said. Your people wield comfort like a weapon, and it is devastating. Marcus wins. Please, don't call it a weapon, she smiled, showing rows of serrated teeth. Too late. The legend grows. A sudden alarm sounded across the chamber. Delegates froze. Warriors drew weapons. Marcus nearly dumped the ladle. What now? He whispered. A Varkuun scout rushed in. Matriarch. A new fleet approaches! Reshkara bristled. Which species? The humans. Marcus blinked. My people sent a fleet. They broadcast a single message. The scout said. It reads, "Do not turn our snacks into treaties without us." Marcus paled. Reshkara purred. Prepare, Sweet-Brew Envoy. Your people have come to negotiate. Marcus clutched his face. Oh God. There's going to be a part 4, isn't there?